I did not serve in Vietnam. I did serve during the Vietnamese War. For whatever reason, the luck of the draw, I guess, I did not get sent to Vietnam. Well, one of the things that I knew before and learned certainly was that the Vietnamese War was absurd. We should not have been in it. We now know that the whole thing was a sham, that Washington tricked us and got us into a war because the Pentagon wanted to, quote, stop, what was it called, the domino effect, the snowball effect, that if South Vietnam fell, you know, we would all be communist any day. Unfortunately, most wars are, not most, I think nearly all wars are absurd if one looks back at history. You know, the First World War, for instance, you know, in October, countries all over the world were saying this is all going to be finished. October of 1914. This war is all going to be over by Christmas. We'll win the war and everything will be fine. 6 months later, they were all sitting and looking at each other saying, how did we get into this war? It's absurd, because everybody realized by then this was all a horrible mistake. It should never have happened. It happened because of an 85-year-old emperor got very angry and did some foolish things. And the next thing you knew, the whole world was at war, but there was no way out. And unfortunately, that's usually the case with wars. Vietnam, of course, there was no way out. Once we got tricked by Washington into the war. But Justin, look at all of, I'm American like you, look at all of our wars recently. Iraq, Afghanistan. We keep losing wars now, that was not the case before in American history. But now we keep losing wars, and part of the reason we keep losing wars is we keep getting into these absurd wars. Why were we in Vietnam? Why were we in Afghanistan? Why were we in Iraq? You know, most of the stuff that the Pentagon or Washington or whoever told us, they were wrong. They either made it up, or either intentionally lied, or just made terrible mistakes. But the problem is thousands, millions of people got killed. And one of the points I make in one of my books is nobody wins wars. Even the people who think they win wars lose, because staggering amounts of money, capital are gone. Thousands of lives are gone, lives are disrupted. So I would be against nearly any war that you want to propose to me, Justin. And I would urge all young people too, that when they come along and say, hey guys, we got a great new war coming. It's going to be over by Christmas. Don't worry, we'll win the war by Christmas. If you try to figure out a way to get out of town.